Welcome back to This is Random. I am Tay.
And I'm Adri.
And for today's episode, we're just going to talk about social media and the iron grip dependency it has on us.
Wow, that was a long
I feel like that was like really
words.
poetic.
Yeah. Wow, your words.
I know. So if you can remember, what was your first social media account?
Does AIM count?
Yeah, I'll count AIM because technically it is.
So I had AIM and MySpace, and what else was there?
Well, what was your first?
I think those were my first.
Yeah.
And then as the years go by, like, you know, your friends are on something, so you join it to communicate with your friends. And I think that was my first. I got the psychic.
The psychic?
Yeah.
What's psychic?
You know, like
sidekick.
the psychic.
I thought you said psychic. I'm like, what? Sidekick. Okay, yeah, I remember that.
And it had AIM on it, and I would go to my aunt's house to go on the computer to go on MySpace.
I miss MySpace. MySpace, I feel like was ahead of its time.
It was.
You get to like customize your like different backgrounds, and you get to add music.
I would put up like a lot of music. I didn't like taking pictures that much, but I enjoyed the music part of it.
Yeah, I like the customization, specifically like the backgrounds.
Yeah.
I would constantly like be looking up how to change it, because I don't know if you remember, they used to have like download shops.
Yeah.
To like download different backgrounds. I think I would change it like every month. Like I used to like do a theme every single month, and I would have to like change my profile picture and then my bio and everything. Like, yeah. It was like a whole curation thing. That's not a word, is it? I don't even know.
It sounds like a word. Sounds like it should be a word.
MySpace, that was the shit.
It was a combination of Facebook, Instagram, maybe Snapchat, like minus the whole Snap. And did they even have that? I can't remember.
I don't know.
I don't think they did.
I don't think so. I've never had Snapchat. I went from MySpace to Facebook.
Same.
Facebook. I made Facebook in high school. I made it because I think there was like a couple of us in school where I think planning not a trip, but do you remember how like some of us, like a group of kids, would like plan stuff for
the SLC.
Yeah.
And we all had to communicate with each other.
Yeah. So I think I made a Facebook for that. And then I just like kept it from there.
I forgot why I made a Facebook, but I think it's generally around the same reason, because we needed it for school activities and stuff. Like, I get like memories. You know how Facebook have like those memories now? Most of the memories were like school activity related stuff. I'm not very good at putting out like my thoughts and feelings, but most of the photos were from like other people and I was tagged in it. But most of my posts were school related. Like, don't forget Mr. Jean's birthday and bring something.
Or like bake sales coming up, guys. Bring something if you want. Or, you know, the dance is coming up. Don't forget to buy a ticket.
Don't forget to buy your ticket. Yeah, stuff like that. I would see it. I'm like, oh, I was so lame back then.
No, oh my God. I was, every once in a while, I like to look at my memories on Facebook. Yeah. And I look at the shit I would wrote, and I'm like, you were so emo. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I would write shit like no one understands. Just like really, not dark, but just like really emotional stuff. And I'm like, Taya, who hurt you back? The thing is, no one hurt me. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I literally would just like look at stuff and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you good? I just want to like smack 16-year-old me around a little bit. Like, get it together, girl.
Well, I would like to believe that there will come a point in my life where maybe I will be more open with like my thoughts in life to put it on social media, but I haven't so far. There's like a few things that I would say, but those were really calculated moments
before you like put
before I put it on it.
I don't think I took social media that seriously enough. Probably not as much as I do now. I don't know if you remember, a few days ago, it'll probably be like a week or two once this episode airs for the public, but there was a brief shutdown with Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp apparently
Yeah,
too.
because WhatsApp is owned by Facebook,
Yeah.
and so is Instagram.
Like, did that affect you in any way?
No.
No, not even WhatsApp
I
because you
didn't.
use WhatsApp.
I use WhatsApp, but I didn't even know any of this was happening until my friend asked me to send him something on Instagram because none of his message was going through, and I sent it and he didn't get it, and he was like, "Oh, so I guess his Instagram has a problem." I'm like, "Okay." And that was it. And I haven't even thought about it until like later on, where I think my mom couldn't get her WhatsApp to start using. And then somebody, I think I saw it on Twitter that Facebook and Instagram is down.
I posted on Twitter. I was like, this would be a great opportunity to bring AIM back. Just saying. But all right, so I when it happened, I went to the gym that day,
Mm-hmm.
and I was on my way home, and I was on my phone, and I realized like I couldn't get on Facebook, or at least
Okay.
like my news feed wouldn't refresh, and
Load.
the same thing with Instagram. So
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was the Wi-Fi because MTA Wi-Fi sucks.
Yeah.
And I sometimes have issues with my own phone Wi-Fi, like it doesn't connect that well, so sometimes I have to use my cell data.
Right.
So that wasn't working either. So I'm thinking it's my phone or something. So I went and I was getting so frustrated. I deleted Facebook and Instagram off my phone. I thought it was
There
the
was your
app. I was
yeah.
right, but just not in the right way. I thought it was just
Yeah.
like a glitch. So I deleted it, reinstalled it, and now I realize I can't log in. So I'm like, what the hell is happening? And it went on for hours until I went on Twitter and I saw it was trending like Facebook and Instagram shut down. So I'm like, okay, so it's not me. Because I was
Yeah.
getting pissed. I thought it was my phone. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to have to fucking get a new phone just because of this.
Wow.
I'm
You're
not I'm
like
that
over here.
dramatic. I was getting annoyed because I'm very impatient with things.
Yeah.
So it's just like if it's not working, especially with technology and things that cost a lot of money, if I feel like it's not working, I get just like super frustrated and angry, so to speak. I'm very impatient. I'm aware of that. But
Well, that's interesting.
yeah,
We like both had like different experiences with that.
I got over it when I realized it wasn't my phone and me, it was their problem. So I was like,
Right.
okay, so there's literally nothing I could do at this point.
Yeah, but
I was more annoyed when I thought it was like my phone's
yeah.
problem, and I'm just like, now I have to handle this, and it's annoying me. But when I realized it's literally the entire world, I'm like, okay, well, I can't do anything. But the memes were hilarious.
They were funny.
They were really funny. And then, what's funny? Actually, a few days ago, I heard Instagram shut down again for some people.
Really?
Hmm.
I don't know. Why do you think people are so like obsessed with social media? Like they always have to go on it. Like some people went crazy. Well, not like crazy crazy. They just like
Not crazy,
freaked
but like
out.
they were pissed. Like, okay,
Yeah.
so there's this when I finally got back on Facebook, there
Mhm.
was a girl I saw, but one of my Facebook friends shared this girl's post.
Mhm.
So the original girl who originally did the status, she had said like Facebook and Instagram kind of like ruined her day because I guess she's trying to be an influencer, so
Oh.
she couldn't post her content. Like that's her money is making posts. So she like
Wow.
lost a day's pay over that. But
Wow, that's
that,
wild.
yeah. But as far as like why do I think like people are so dependent or I guess obsessed with it? I think it's all we know. Like think of it this way, a majority of the adult population is millennials, is like from say generation Y, millennials and Gen Z. Literally the adult generation of right now is a majority of people that grew up on the internet. So it's all they know.
Oh, okay.
That's my theory. What do you think?
That sounds good enough for me. I feel like there are people like me who are like outliners who don't focus that much on social media, so that when it was gone for like a few hours, they didn't even notice. Like I didn't notice. It didn't affect me like at all. I think you're right. It's just a norm which
Like,
is why people are like always on it because it's something that they do now, and it's like normal for you to like go on Instagram,
hmm
check, write your feelings if you want, post pictures about your breakfast or not. People do that, and I think it's fine as long as it doesn't interfere with your the rest of your life, like your mental health or your physical being. Like you're not just sitting there all day just scrolling and getting nothing done, not eating. I can't imagine.
I don't think anyone does it to that point.
Yeah.
Maybe I've seen like they do it in TV shows and movies, like they dramatize it where they're
Yeah.
like, or maybe I'm just out of touch with probably youth, like Gen Z, because I feel like that's who they're mentioning when they do it.
Yeah.
But not exactly, because if you watch like old videos, they used to talk about that of what would be today's millennials. And I feel like no one's on their phone to that extent
Yeah.
unless they are, like, say, influencer and that's how they work.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. But I feel like no one's on their phone to that extent. I could be wrong because I'll be honest. I wake up and I have a step by step process where I go Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Wow.
Like, no, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, then Twitter. Like, literally, as soon as I wake up, it's like I have to go in order. But I don't even know why I still have Facebook. You know why I still have it?
Why?
Because whenever I go to events,
Mhm.
especially if I'm going by myself, I like to join Facebook groups because people will curate groups specifically
Okay,
for
for
like certain events.
right.
So I'll like go on that to, I guess, meet people or to catch plans about it or like news. Facebook is practically a news site right now.
I
Like
don't
no one,
even.
I feel like no one actually interacts with people on Facebook anymore.
You're probably right. Like I don't know. I don't see it as news. I think it's more like people go to share their opinions on news or certain things that's happening. But I wouldn't call it news. I wouldn't view Facebook as news. They're mostly opinionated views on issues that's happening. I would decide whether or not if I want to reply to it or not. Most of the time it's not cuz I don't have the strength or the time just in case somebody message me back and want to say something.
There are moments where it's like I'll see someone say something just like either way out of pocket or
Mhm.
just stupid, and
Yeah.
I'd be wanting to reply like just because, and I'm just like, do I have the energy to go back and forth?
Yeah.
But also, people are very rude
Yeah.
online, and I'm a sensitive bitch. So if they come out of pocket with me, I'm gonna get offensive. I'm gonna get really offensive. I'm gonna get really offensive for no reason. So that's why I'm just like, do you want to put yourself through that? No.
I
So let me just X out this conversation.
I'm the same way, except I did reply once, and it was like last week. I
Okay.
think,
Okay. So I was gonna ask that. Have you ever gotten either like a Facebook, like in the comments of something, or just like not Twitter, not Twitter beef, but just like social media? Have you ever had like social media beef with someone, like gone back and forth?
I posted on my Instagram. My Instagram is connected to my Facebook. I just linked it because you have that option. So on my story, I put this animated version of what the coronavirus is based on how I understand it. So there's this animation cartoon thing on, I think it's on Netflix, might not be Netflix. It's called Cells at Work. I watch it with my friend. It helped me understand how science work. Like if this was how they explained it in school, I probably would have liked science better.
It's a really good
However,
anime. I like it.
yeah, there was this animation type that explained how the coronavirus work in our body. So I shared it because I thought it's my Instagram and I can do that. I have to tell myself that whenever I post something that somebody else might not like. I'm like, wait, this is my social media and they can't tell me what to do. I can do whatever I want. It's mine. Leave me alone. But I posted and then somebody responded and they were like, oh. that's not the way it works. So I said, okay, how does it work? And they're like, well, that's not it, blah, blah, blah. So I would ask questions. I Googled to make sure that I'm right. Even though I had an idea that I was right, I still Googled it and I looked into it to see if there was anything that I post that wasn't true. And I was still right. So I didn't try to go into an argument. I didn't feel like it. I just Googled. Like, you could Google things. I don't notice if
Google
anybody
is
noticed.
free.
I Googled
Google's
it and
free
it
if you
said
have
it.
internet. But anyway, I was like, that's a saying, like Google is free, but I'm like, is Google really free? But whatever.
They have your firstborn kid.
Is that in the warrant? Is that in the terms?
No, that's just how I feel.
You should have added that to the conspiracy theory episode.
Oh, yeah. Because I don't think anybody really sat down and read the agreement. So it's
I tried to at one point.
Yeah,
I think
I
it was like
gave
for
up.
Apple, and I was just like, I'm bored.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it one day. I'm gonna actually read it and try to comprehend it, because you never know.
Yeah, I
But
tried to.
yeah,
It was so long and so many words, so many unnecessary words that I just gave up. I'm like, okay, you might as well have my firstborn kid at this point. I don't care.
you'd give up your firstborn kid rather than read the full terms and conditions.
You try reading it.
But you would rather give your firstborn kid.
I already signed it a long time ago. They might as it's okay.
Wow. Your
Okay.
priorities, man. Okay, back to social media.
Okay.
Okay. Have you ever deleted any of your social medias?
I have. I've actually deleted all of them at one point.
And you came back?
And then I went back.
Why?
Because I got nagged into it. My friend, she nagged me into going back on my social media because she wanted to send me stuff. And it got to a point where I would say no, and she was like, okay, I'm just going to sign you up for it, and that's it.
I mean, it's getting used. You do use it.
You ever deleted it?
The whole account.
Mm.
No, the most I've done was like sign out and maybe delete the app, and I've only done that maybe like a week.
Oh.
The only moment I could really think of was there was a time where I was like really depressed, and I just deleted social media, specifically Instagram, because I use that the most.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never really deleted an account. I like, for me, I use social media as like a form of entertainment.
Okay.
Also a bit of news, in the sense where I don't watch like the news, partially because I don't have a TV. I have a TV. I have a TV in like our living room, but it's like it takes too long to cut on. It's a smart TV and you gotta let it load and shit, and it's too much work. I had a TV in my room,
Okay.
but we got rid of it because I don't use it. I don't watch TV.
Right.
Anything I watch would be like on a streaming service, and I just use my laptop if I have to. I don't need a TV for it.
Yeah.
So I don't really watch the news, more so, or I just don't use TV in general, so I use my phone. And that's how news gets out to people, is through social media.
Oh.
Pretty much how I see it. Like, I don't go on news like New York Times or New York Post, like their actual website, and look through their articles. I see it through an article being saved or shared on a social media site.
Oh, I get mine through YouTube.
Your news through YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get a lot of it through YouTube. YouTube I use for strictly entertainment.
I mean, it's let me rephrase that. I get my news from comedy, like late night shows, The Daily Show with Trevor Noah, Late Night with John Oliver. I like John Oliver, and Stephen Colbert.
I've been really into commentary channels.
Mm-hmm.
And like social commentary, social news, just pretty much just people just sitting in front of their camera and just talking about specific topics. I've been really into that. So I used to watch, what did I even used to do on YouTube? I don't even know.
Music videos?
Not even really. Because I'm not really much of a music video type of person. Because, like, say if there's an artist that puts out a song and it has a video, I'll watch the video maybe once. And then just to watch the video. But then I'll listen to the song if I like the song. I don't go to the video to watch it. Because I don't care about the video. I care about the song.
Okay. Do you watch like recipes?
No.
Oh, okay, just commentary and comedy
Like
stuff.
commentary, sometimes I'll watch like meme videos. It's like cheap content. It's pretty much people like stealing other people's tweets and like putting it in the form of memes, like meme compilations
Yeah.
on YouTube. I watch that sometimes.
Okay. Are you bored with it? Like social media in general?
A little. So I made social media, like my social medias, to I guess get in touch with certain people because I don't like giving out my number.
Right.
I don't like giving out my number unless like it's someone I'm close to, like a close friend or a family member,
Mm-hmm.
because my thing is I feel like I'm laughing because it's stupid, but it's easier for me to block you if I don't want to see you or talk to you ever
Oh
again on
my
social
God.
media. Cause all right, no, cause my thing is this. I'm just like, I don't want to give someone my phone number because I feel like a phone number is equivalent to say like your address. It's very personal
Okay.
information. But social media, I don't really care because it's easier for me to like block you on social media
Okay.
as opposed to like the number. Like if you have your number and someone has your number
Mm-hmm.
and you don't want to talk to them ever again, you
Okay.
can't really change your number.
Yeah, but I could delete and block
You
them.
could block them, but they still have your number.
Yeah, but they can't call it.
No,
Would
I'm
it?
saying they could call you from another phone. They still have your number.
Okay.
But my this is my theory. But on social media, I can block it's easier to block them and never
Okay.
see them again. The
The
phone.
chance of them calling you.
Exactly. I just base everything on how quickly I can get people out of my life. Oh, my
Oh my
social awkward
God.
ass. But like I made Facebook because I think it was in high school. There was a group of us and we were like planning something for our group of students and we were like let's communicate through Facebook. So I made a Facebook. Instagram I made because of a guy. Was this 2021? So I made mine like 2019, like a few years ago because I was contemplating doing it and then I ran into this guy from middle school that I used to have a crush on. So we ran into each other and we were talking. We were like, oh, we should keep in touch. And I was like, you know what? This is a good opportunity for you to make your Instagram. so so I made it. And funny enough, I never added him or him adding me until like a year later anyway.
Wow, that's wild.
So there was that. And Twitter, I had my own personal Twitter. I deleted it. Okay, so yeah, there's me deleting social media.
Oh, wow.
I just
Okay.
remembered. But Twitter, I made it originally because there was a character in my, at the time, favorite show that died. So I made a Twitter so I can tweet one of the showrunners and be like, why'd you kill them?
Oh, God.
I'm so serious. So if the Twitter doesn't, that Twitter account no longer exists. But if it did, that's the only tweet that's on there. It's me tweeting
Wow.
them, being like, "What? Can you not?"
Wow.
Yeah,
I did not think of that
yeah.
as a good reason to have.
I was like really stressed at the time. And funny thing, it was at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was stressed at that time. I was annoyed. And the thing is, it wasn't even aired that the character died. I found out through a spoiler. So at this point, the writer didn't even know that the general public knew.
Oh,
So
God.
imagine if they saw me, they would just get this random tweet from this girl being like, "Why'd you kill this person?" They're probably like, "It didn't even air yet. What are you talking about?" I have issues. But as far as is it boring? A little bit. I think people are just getting repetitive on it. I think it's a couple of things that go viral and people share it constantly.
Yeah.
Like so did you hear about the photographer story?
No.
Wedding photographers cost a lot of money, like
Right.
thousands of dollars. So there's this one guy who's a photographer, and what happened was his friends were getting married. He was originally going to be a guest, but he offered, or they asked for him to shoot their wedding
Right.
for like I think $200 or something like that. And
That
he,
sounds like a good price.
yeah, that's pretty much
Cheap.
nothing compared to what wedding photographers actually cost.
Yeah.
And what happened was he agreed because that's their friend and he's nice. And what happened was he was shooting all day and he didn't eat. He couldn't sit or anything. And when it was time to eat, he asked, he was like, "Hey, I'm just going to take a quick break real quick. I'm just going to get some food. I've been working all day." And the couple, the bride and groom was like, "No. Like you're a photographer. Why do you need to eat?"
What?
So pretty much what he did was like, "All right. So I'm out." He took their photos and he dipped.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so it's pretty much the story is going all over social media and people are making memes about it. But the point of that is to say that it went viral, the story, and now all you see is like memes about it. So as far as social media being boring, again, I think you have a couple of things that go viral and people will share the same thing over and over again, like Squid Games.
Yeah.
So Squid Games is just came out, it's going viral, and now all you see is memes of it.
Yeah.
And they're funny, I'm not gonna lie, but it's just repetitive
Yeah.
and it gets hard to enjoy being on the app if all you see is the same meme about
Right.
the same thing.
It's like what's that dancey web thing? Uh I think it started with a T.
The dancey,
Yeah, where you play music and you do dance. Um you know what it is.
your explanation is just really
I'm
bad.
so bad.
Wow.
Twitch? No, that doesn't sound right.
Twitch is a streaming site.
Yeah,
Like they do
no,
live
that's
streaming,
not what I'm
but
thinking of.
specifically dance related.
Yeah. It's like where you do like like a 10
TikTok?
TikTok. Yes. It's like TikTok where there's a trend where if like there's a specific song or a specific dance that's going on, everybody's doing that same thing. Yeah. So I get it. I
Like do
you
you
were
think it's boring?
me
Yeah. Like are you bored?
since I just started, technically no. And I just started it. You're right. It is very much the same thing over and over again.
Like
I
repetitive?
just have to like find it's hard to find new things that haven't been done over and over. And then there are times when people are sending me stuff that I already saw somebody else do. So it's just like I technically already seen it. Okay, I guess.
That's so funny
LOL.
because I feel like with us and our group of friends, because we have such a similar sense of humor,
Yeah.
like we have our group chat and all we do is like send memes to each other. And the amount of memes that we send, and I'm pretty sure I think I've seen a handful.
Yeah,
And
same.
I don't know if the others have realized it, but it's like how repetitive it gets because we have a very similar sense of humor.
Yeah. I know that we follow like around the same people. So I try not to send things that I know like the rest of us follow cuz then there's a very good chance you already saw it. But there are things that I see and I haven't seen before and I'm dying. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, they would think this is funny." And I send it. Sometimes I don't sometimes you guys reply, sometimes you don't. If you don't reply, I assume you already saw it and we'll just move on. If you
I
do,
just feel like with Summer Pie, I just don't need to.
yeah,
Like it was funny and
and you
keep it,
move
or I
on.
didn't they find it funny, so just keep it
Yeah.
moving.
The thing that gets me is when you're there and you're scrolling and then you see like those ads that come on that is specifically it feels like your phone has been listening to you talk this entire time and it's going based on what you were talking about. So it's like your phone is listening to you.
I hate that. I kind of I could be so wrong, but I kind of figured out how to do it. So you remember, when you go on websites,
Uh-huh.
and they be like, "Oh, accept cookies."
Okay.
They track you through that.
through your cookies. Yeah.
Yeah. You're leaving crumbs.
Yeah.
That's what that is. That's why they call it cookies. I just made that up. If I'm right, my mind's gonna be so freaking blown. But but there's this actually this Netflix show. I don't know if you've heard of it called The Social Dilemma.
I think I saw it, but I haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet.
Yeah, so it's pretty much just it talks about social media and upset people's obsession with it, and then but they do a section where they talk about ads
Right.
and how certain content is specifically placed in your feed based on things you've previously looked at.
Right.
So
That makes sense.
the annoying thing about that is just like when I'm on certain websites, I get annoyed because I'm like, I don't want to have to constantly see ads about it. I just want to go on this website just for this one moment. Like, say if I'm going on, I don't know, like Old Navy, I'm on Old Navy's website. Just because I saw this shirt, I just want to check, I just want to see what they have, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy anything. I'm just looking.
Right.
And now all I see is ads on
For
it.
Old Navy.
Yeah. So that's why it's like now when I'm on certain websites, I I don't check out when they like accept cookies. I don't check it off. And I'm just trying to be more careful about like websites I go on. I think going incognito works.
Yeah.
I heard that works, so you don't really get ads as much.
That makes sense. I don't really go on social media that much to be annoyed by ads, but I get it. I wouldn't want to scroll through that many ads. I see the ads that's going on too. It's also with your emails because I get ads on my emails and it's specifically for things that I either Googled or talked about and it just pops up and I think, wow, that's what I was talking about. And if we were talking about something and I would message you, I'm like, oh my gosh, the phone is listening to our conversations.
Like I don't mind ads because there's a purpose for it. That's
Yeah.
usually how websites are ran.
Right.
Everything is money, so they need ad revenue to help run the website. So
And
I don't mind ads.
they're
It's
paid
just
for it too.
yeah. So I think the issue is more so with people when they look up something and the ads follow them.
Right.
Like, oh my God. So there's this Haagen-Dazs flavor that my family always gets. It's like our favorite flavor. It's like caramel cone or something like that. And we were talking about it. It was a really brief conversation about it too, like maybe a 2 minute conversation about it.
Right.
And then maybe a couple hours later, I go on my phone and I'm scrolling through Instagram and I see an ad for Haagen Dazs. No, not a Haagen Dazs. I see an ad for Target, and they were like, "Oh, Haagen Dazs and the specific flavor is on sale." And I'm just like, "What the actual frick?" It's creepy. But you know what the thing is? But you know what the thing is? I think they tell you in the terms and conditions when you accept, like when they say accept cookies, I think they tell you, actually, they do tell you. That's how I figured it out that they use it to track ads. They tell you in it before you accept it, like the information you're
Yeah.
using in this website is going to be used and shared with other websites.
Yeah, sometimes I click no and I wouldn't be able to use it. So I just don't use it.
That
at
I
all.
think is shady. Like the fact that you're saying, I don't want you to share my information with other websites.
Yeah.
So they completely block you out from using that website.
Yeah.
That I think is shady as hell.
I mean, it's fine. I just move on to something else.
It's fine. It's fine because you don't care that moment. But the fact that they're purposely blocking you.
Yeah.
It'd be one thing if it was your choice where it's like, you know what, I'm just not going to go on this website. But it's more so they're like, no, we're not even going to allow you to go on the website. That's where I think the issue comes in.
Yeah. But what you gonna do?
Yeah. That's true.
Just not go. Okay. So if you're kind of bored with social media, what steps would you take to try to get away from it?
Hobbies.
Hobbies.
Get a hobby.
Get a hobby.
Get
Guys,
a freaking hobby.
Get a hobby.
Get a hobby. Go outside.
Go outside.
Go touch some grass. No.
Cut some grass.
I said touch.
Oh, sorry. Touch some grass.
But cut some grass too if it's getting out of line. Take care of yourself. But anyway, no, but on serious note, I have to find things to step away to not use my phone. That's the thing though, because my phone is associated with social media. Because I'll be honest, like I don't use my phone to call people. I don't like talk to people on the phone. I just use my phone for social media, like my entertainment. So I have to find things to do where I'm not using my phone at all to step away from it. Pretty much. That's how I feel is the best way for me personally, not doing it. Like did your phone have a thing with screen time?
I haven't checked.
So
it probably does.
It probably does. I think a lot of phones do. Yeah. It'll track your screen time and it'll let you know. Or I think you can set it up.
What you screen most?
Not screen most, but it's like, what's your screen time? Like, how long are you on your phone? Oh. Like, I don't know if I can.
I could tell you. I'm on my phone all the time.
Sometimes I'll pop up mine and, like right now, it says my screen time is about 4 hours today.
Oh, wow.
So normally on average, like if I'm not doing anything, like I'm at home, I have no real schedule planned for myself, my screen time can go as high as like 10 to 12 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm on my phone a lot doing nothing.
I'm mostly on my phone watching Netflix or checking my emails. I have about 5 different emails to check for like each day. So I'm like going through.
Why do you have so many emails?
So one is my personal, one is for school, one is for these surveys that I sign up for. Another one was for the internship that I'm no longer a part of. I have the podcast email on my phone, and then I have school.
That's a lot of emails. I just have 2. I just have like our podcast email and then my personal email.
Like I start with my personal email and work my way down and just check everything or delete most things. But that's about it.
Well, I would ask you like what steps, getting off of social media seems like it's easier for you. So what do you do, or what would you say you do that kind of stops you from going on?
I would find something else to do. I would put my phone down or put on some music and, like you said, do hobbies. Read a book. I like reading.
Yeah.
Knitting, watching TV. Mm-hmm. Sewing. I like coloring. Coloring is fun.
Okay.
It's not only for kids. Adults can do it too.
I draw, so I get it.
Yeah, I can't draw. I do stick figures. My stick figures are advanced.
Advanced.
Yeah. They sit, they stand. I could draw them with stuff in their hands. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Doing action-y stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm really talented.
Make a comic book.
Of stick figures?
Yeah. That's a thing.
Oh.
And you could, that's actually like a really good thing. I think people like simple stuff, but made in a complex way. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I see. I'll show you what I can do later. And you could tell me if it's, I think it's advanced. Sure. You might not.
Yeah, I probably won't. But I'm kidding.
No, she's not.
Yes, I am.
But it's okay. We're done for today.
We are. Next week, we're gonna talk about crushes. Ooh. So we're just gonna kind of go over like past crushes, our types, and what to do when they're just not into you.
And most of the time they're not.
Well, we'll talk about that.
Sad face emoji.
We'll talk about that. But anyway, you can check us out on Apple, Google, or Spotify, or wherever you want to listen to our podcast, or check out our YouTube channel. This is Random.
Yeah. Also, like and subscribe, comment, and share. You could also keep in touch with us on Twitter and follow us, of course, at thisisrandom_TA.
Yep. All right. That was This Is Random with Tay and Adri. We will see you next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.